Alrighty, we're gonna get ready to go over the homework. We are doing lesson 3, session 3. I have 4 of the students here after school, and we are working on getting our homework by practicing breaking apart figures to find volume. Now, these are the examples. We're going to be cutting our shapes in half, so we need to practice this down here. This shape is already cut in half for us. We have C and D. Number 1 says, show how to find the volume of prism D. Here's D. We know we need to start by doing length times width times height. Our length is 8 times our width is 5, and our height is 3. So this is D, 8 times 5 times 3. So let's start with 8 times 5. This is going to give us 40 times 3. And we know that 4 and 3 is going to give us 12. And we drop a 0 when?
We multiply the tens.
So now we know that the first volume is 120 feet to the third power. Now we solve for C. This is where it gets a little tricky. C has a height of 1. So I'm going to go ahead and put 1 here. C also has a width of 5. But the length is not as long as 8. The length is, we're going to take 8 and we're going to do 2 minus 2. That's going to give us 4. So this is my length. Four times 5 is 20. 20 times 1 is 20. So 20 feet to the third power. Finally, what is the value of the whole thing? We now have to add 120 plus 20 to get our full value. You get 140 feet to the third power. Now we're going to get ready to move on to the back. There are a few more problems here. Number 4, draw lines in figure A and B to separate them into 2 rectangular prisms. Here's A, here's B. It says draw lines to separate them. Well, the obvious thing to do would either be to do this, or you can do that. Anybody got a vote? Should we go left to right or top to bottom?
Left and right.
All right, I'm going to cut this one from left to right. Now this one, I did top to bottom. That is definitely going to change my shape up. So let's now solve for the volume. Show how to find the volume of figure 8. Figure 8. It looks like my width is 30. My height is 6. And I am missing the height here. Well, we know this whole thing is 6. But this right here is 2. So if I take 2 from 6, that means this side is 4. And now I look like I have everything I need. Oh, but wait, I cut this in half. If this side is 5, that means this side is 5. Now let me look here. This is 3. This is 6. Oh, wow, they're almost the same thing. They are the same thing. So I just did 2 different shapes, 2 different ways. So I'm definitely going to get the same answer, but I'm just doing it a different way. This side I cut. Remember, this is 2 inches. So when you take 2, we said that this was 4. The height was 4 now. We actually don't need this one anymore. We can cross it out, because we're going to use 4 and 2 for the other height. Number 5, this part, well, we want this entire thing. This whole length is 10, and our width is still 3. It's still going to be 3. So this is also 3 right here. All right, we're ready. I'm going to do length times width times height. Length times width times height. I now have 2 shapes. Let's say that this is number 1. I'm going to label them, and this one's number 2. For number 1, my length is 5. My width is 3. Just remember there's a 3 here. Same thing I put down here. And my height, because I'm just doing this box right here, is 2. For number 2, my second box, my length is 5. My width is 3. And my height from here to here is 6. Now it's going to be a little different on this one. We're going to start by doing 5 times 3. We get 15. Times 2, we get 30. 5 times 3, we get 15. Times 6. Okay, now I'm not that fast, and I do not know my 15s, so I'm going to solve for it this way. Ten times 6 is 60. 5 times 6 is 30. That is 90. And when you add 30 plus 90, my volume is, anybody know? 120 inches to the third power. Awesome. Now let's try this with a new one. This one is number 1. This one's number 2. Let's start with number 1. Length times width times height. My length for number 1 is 10. My width for number 2, my width for number 1 is still 3. But my height for this small box here is 2. Now we're going to draw our second box, which is this prism here. Length times width times height. Remembering that this side was 5, so this side is also 5, because the entire length is 10. So we're going to have 5 times 3 times 4. Bless you. We're going to start by doing our length and our width.
Teachers, we will begin our grade level meetings in 5 minutes. Please report to your assigned grade level location. Thank you.
30 times 2. 60. 15 times 4. 60 inches. What do you get when you put 60 and 60 together? 120. So what do we always say? Right is right?
Wrong is wrong.
Same shape, cut two different ways, same answer. Still get 120 inches to the third power. Good job. All right. Now, 7 and 8. Unfortunately, Miss McDavid's got to go. I wish you the best. Just to give you a helping hand, you can cut it this way, or you could also cut it that way. Either way, the answer will not change. Just make sure that you balance out the correct sides for me. Please always, always write length times width times height. You're going to have to do it more than once. And when you're done, add your answers up. And that is your what?
Product.
All right. Good luck, students. I hope you bring your homework tomorrow. Don't lose, don't what?
Leave.